Do we have any questions or anything before we start? Okay, so once again, welcome to leadership training. We're going to go through a short PowerPoint. And so the first slide talks about what is a leader. And so if I can have a volunteer read the 2 bullets for me, please.
A leader has the ability to inspire or influence others towards a particular goal. The person who leads or commands a group, organization, or country.
Very good. Do you ladies agree with these definitions?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And so what does that mean to you, and why do you think that's important in the workplace?
Because you have to get people interested in meeting a goal. Like, if you don't encourage other people to meet the goal, you will never meet the goal. So that's really important.
I think a leader presents order.
Very good.
Order in the workplace.
And you also, as a leader, you have to set the tone for the goals. And I know, Janice, you being in the public school system, as an educator, you know that you have to set the goals. And then part of that is you being the leader and helping your students reach whatever goals you set forth. So that's very important. Very good. So now we're going to talk about what the 5 essential leadership skills are. So some of the things that you all have, once again, they have to be honest, a good listener, brave, and team player. So we'll see if any of these come up. So the first one is strategic planning and critical thinking. You must acquire these skills in order to be an effective leader. Okay, so strategic planning is an organization's process of defining its strategy or direction and making decisions on allocating its resources to pursue this strategy. So it's all about what your organization does, what they're trying to sell, what their goals are, what they're trying to promote. And then, of course, in order to be able to strategically plan, you must be able to what? Critically think. And it's the intellectually disciplined process of actively and skillfully conceptualizing, applying, analyzing, synthesizing, and or evaluating information gathered from or generated by observation, experience, reflection, reasoning, or communication as a guide to belief and action. Do we all agree with that?
It's a bit, okay, just trying to get it all together, okay.
So when you think about critically thinking, you have to be able to conceptualize, you have to be able to apply those things after you conceptualize them, you have to be able to synthesize them, and after you've done all of that, you have to be able to evaluate what you've done.
Yeah.
So we agree?
Yeah.
Okay. I know that was a lot of words. Collaboration. We know this one is definitely big because you all actually had this one and you talked about it on the 3 most important. You have to be a team player, and it's the action of working with someone to produce or create something. Why is collaboration important?
Because you don't know everything. As a leader, I think it's very important that you take the input of other people, even those that may not be quote unquote on the same level as you, your employees, because they might have a brilliant idea or a more effective way of doing a particular task.
And that's the way that you can get people to feel like they are part of the vision and the plan, and they want to contribute to that because they collaborate.
Would anybody like to share an example of collaboration? What are some things that you do at your office or your place of work, or you are actually a business owner? How do you incorporate collaboration into your business?
Once a month we do have a meeting, and then bring something new to the table, and everybody's invited to bring an idea, and we all vote on what idea seems like it would be feasible, and we plan out how that idea might work in the workplace, and we give it a try.
That sounds wonderful. Emotional intelligence, the capacity to be aware of, control, and express one's emotions, and to handle interpersonal relationships judiciously and empathetically. I personally think that this is awesome. How do you all feel about emotional intelligence, and do you feel like it has an actual place in the workplace? Some thoughts or feelings?
Because people are different.
People
so
are very different.
some people, like I talk more than other people. But that's
Yes, you
who
do.
I do. But when people are dealing with me in terms of leaders, they are understanding that. So they are emotionally intelligent to the fact that I am different, and they don't, they may react to me differently than someone who may, like Miss Janice, may be a little more quiet, So they're going to treat us differently and have different relationships because they understand that we're just different people.
Very good. I agree. I couldn't say it better myself. And then you have motivation, which is number 4. The reason or reasons one has for acting or behaving in a particular way. And when you think of motivation, there's negative motivation and positive motivation, because sometimes something negative might be motivating you to do something negative. And so, of course, in this particular case, we're talking about positive motivation. And so, Tori, like I know that you're about to go to college. what are some things that are motivating you?
To go to college. Seeing others around me.
Okay, very good. Your
going
peers.
into life.
Very good. Very good. What about your future? I mean, what about your future?
Well, as far as my future, what motivates me is wanting to become a better person.
Oh, I love it. Absolutely. Absolutely. Motivation is very important because if you don't have the leadership skills or qualities to motivate your staff, your team, the people that you work with, a lot of times things are not going to get done or they're going to be more difficult to get done. Yes, ma'am?
You know, I see a lot in the school system where they use, or they attempt to use negative motivation by always making teachers feel as though they fail when students don't progress in school academically, you know, and so the negative motivation can devalue
Absolutely.
your employees.
Also,
That's
as
a good point.
a business owner, you have to honestly motivate yourself because the energy you give off.
Yes,
is
yes,
what
that's true.
Your workers who work for you.
Trickles
It
down.
does.
Absolutely, Ms. Coleman, that was very good. And then the last one is feedback. Information about reactions to a product, a person's performance of a task, etc., used as a basis for improvement. Feedback is, why do you all think feedback is very important? And most importantly, you have to have the ability to accept feedback from your staff, from your coworkers, from your bosses.
I think feedback is good because ultimately, in the right setting, it helps the business or the corporation to become better. It helps you as a boss to become, or you as a leader to become better, to motivate even those who work for you to become leaders. Because you can't, to me, you don't always stay in the same position. And sometimes it's better to even create more positions so that you don't have to have so much, so you can leave it leadership to somebody else. But I think feedback does give you a basic, it gives you like a baseline to see where you can grow for the next time around.
Because we can always grow.
Yeah.
We can always grow. And I'm sure Ms. Coleman, because they did give me some information on the students that I would have today in the training class, I definitely wanted to put a few pictures in for you because I know, reading is not your strongest suit, but I actually chose this picture because I thought it was cute and I thought it was funny because this is absolutely what you don't want to be. Like when people are trying to give you feedback, because as Ms. Coleman said, we all have room to grow and there are always things that we can do better and we can do differently. And so are there any questions or comments? Alrighty, so ladies, we're going to prepare to play a game and then we're going to do the evaluation and we'll talk about any thoughts or any things that we would like to share.